Hey babes, my name's Hannah.
And my name's Chasity.
Welcome back to Bookish Babes. Today we're doing kind of a fun video. We're doing the anti-TBR tag. Neither of us can remember who originally created this video, but we'll do research and we'll link the original video down below.
Yeah, absolutely.
We've seen a lot of people do it and we think it's like a really interesting concept, so we wanted to join in on the fun.
It definitely looked fun until I started having to answer the questions.
I know, and you're not going to be happy with some of my answers.
Yeah, I already know.
Yeah.
That's fine. That's fine. Because I'm going to change your mind. It's okay. It's all right.
Also, a couple of things. This isn't meant to offend anybody. Like, if you read any of these books and you love them, great. I'm so happy. I'm sure that you think they're lovely, and I'm sure they are in a way. But they're just not our cup of tea, not something we see ourselves reaching towards for whatever reason.
I mean, it's the same thing with, like, bands and musicians.
Yes, everybody has different tastes.
Yeah, movies. Like, it's not...
And also I want to say something that somebody else said, which is that if you see me reading this book in a few months, don't come for me. This is my plan right now, is to not read any of these books. But my mind can change.
That's why I had such a hard time, because I'm really, especially with us expanding our genres, I'm like, I can't really say that I wouldn't read that.
I have a couple that I'm really firm on, like, for whatever reason, I'll get into that I like won't be reading anymore. But some of these I could be swayed in the future. I don't see it happening, but you never know. So don't expose me if I end up reading one of these and loving them.
I didn't think I'd be reading some of the stuff that I read now.
Yeah.
So we'll see. We'll see.
We could be swayed. All right. You want to read the first question?
Number 1.
Yes.
Is a popular book everyone loves that you have no interest in reading?
Mine is, which you might be shocked by this, because I'm A, such a feminist, and B, I obviously love to read, but I have no desire to read Little Women. I've never read it. I probably will never pick it up. It just doesn't sound interesting to me. I've never watched the movies. I'm not into it. I know that a lot of people love it, and I'm great. I'm happy for you. Not my thing.
I have 2.
Okay.
Outlander.
Okay.
I just have no desire to read Outlander. And that could potentially be swayed, okay? That's not...
I do have a very strong desire to read Outlander. I've watched part of the show, and I loved what I've watched of the show. And
I tried to watch the show.
So I stopped watching the show because I want to read the book first.
I mean, potentially.
Yeah.
But
that's fair.
That one, and then Dune. I just have no desire to read Dune.
Interesting. I forgot about that book.
Yeah. See?
Yeah.
I mean, that's not saying... I mean, I sell it all day long. People seem to love it, but it just doesn't pique my interest. That's all. A classic book or author you don't have an interest in reading?
Okay. So this one's a little bit of a complicated answer for me, because I technically have read stuff by this author in the past, but I have never done it voluntarily. It's because I've had to do it for school.
Okay.
It's Shakespeare.
Okay.
I hate Shakespeare. I would never, like, voluntarily pick up anything that he's written. I don't like the way that he portrays his female characters. I don't like his writing style. I think the stories are just really exhausting to read because the characters are just like throwing a pity party for themselves at all times, and yet they're all responsible for their own demise. I have like so many problems with everything I've ever read by Shakespeare.
Yeah, I have to agree with that.
That's a classic author that I won't read anything by. Same with Mark Twain. I think I've only ever read one thing by Mark Twain. It was a short story when I was in high school and I had to read it. I would never pick anything up by them because I'm not a fan of their writing style. It's not my thing.
I'm going to say Jane Austen, just because she's just never really piqued my interest. Now, this is another one that I could probably be swayed with, but just, I don't know. I'm not a huge classic reader,
You're not. Yeah. I used to be back in the day. So, like, when I was in high school, I pretty much only read classics, and I loved them. I've read Jane Austen and liked it, but I can also see how it wouldn't be somebody's cup of tea. So.
Yeah. Okay, number 3. An author you have no interest in reading.
I
had trouble with this one. I
didn't.
No?
No. It's Sarah J. Maas.
We're going to change your mind on that one. You want to read more fantasy.
I do, but none of her books sound interesting to me.
I'm telling you, you're missing out.
And I have a book by her for a different answer in this tag. but I've tried so many times to read one of her books, and I keep getting like 2-3 chapters in, and I just can't handle it. Like, I'm not into it. I'm just not a fan.
I'm telling you, you got to get to the second book.
She wants me to read this whole first book just to get to the second one, and I'm just like not about that. I've got so many on my TBR that if it feels like
I'm telling you, it ain't got nothing on this one. But nothing on number 2. I am telling you.
If it feels like a chore, I'm not gonna.
It's not gonna feel like a chore.
I can't make myself read. The first one is. I had to like make myself keep picking up that book, and I'm not a fan of that.
I'm telling you. You are missing out, sis. There's just such a fantastic fucking character. I'm telling you. I'm not gonna not tell you.
Yeah.
Okay, so mine are pretty much like the standards. The one that everyone like goes to.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
The Nora Roberts, James Patterson, John Grisham. Nothing has ever piqued me.
I thought you've read some Nora Roberts before.
Nah.
No?
Not even back in my olden romance.
Yeah.
Phenom days.
I've never read anything by those authors. I'd be open to it, but...
Nora Roberts I'd be open to, but I have some issues with James Patterson alone.
I don't think he has kind of like a monopoly on...
and a lot of them aren't actually written by him.
Oh, really?
Well, a lot of them are, if you look, it'll say James Patterson Presents.
Maybe I'm just angry because when we used to work together at the bookstore that she works at, he's the only author that has books that release on a different day.
On a different day, and in every genre. And
it's almost so irritating to stalk him.
Yeah. Somebody do something about
I'm just bitter about that still.
Yeah, I don't know. I just don't know about that. This is like a part 2 to question 3, which is a problematic author whose books you have no interest in reading.
We kind of have the same 2 answers for this.
One of them, actually both of them, I've read things from before.
Yeah.
They were problematic.
I have never read anything by AJ Finn, and I won't pick up anything by him. Because I think I remember reading something along the lines of like that he kind of took credit for somebody else's work.
He faked cancer.
Oh.
Yeah. He faked his resume for the publishing house he was working on.
That's what I meant. That he like, he put somebody else's work on his resume and took credit for it.
Yes, and then he faked cancer.
Oh.
To get out of work. So, I just have no respect for that kind of person. Yeah. And the book was not that great to begin with. I actually had problems with
I'll watch the movie because I like the actors in the movie.
Yeah.
But plus he doesn't really, they've already paid him, so it is what it is.
For real.
Yeah.
And number 2, nobody's going to be surprised to hear this, but I've read a lot by her, but I won't anymore, and that's Jamie Maguire.
Yeah.
Again, just not something that I can stand behind.
Yeah.
So.
Get fucked. I hate her. She bothers me so much now.
I won't let her just like affect my own feelings. Yeah. It's just not worth it to me. She's just not worth my time.
Yeah. I agree.
So
I don't want to put any more money in her pocket, so.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Number 4, an author you have read a couple of books from and have decided their books are not for you.
This is the one that I have such strong feelings about. Most of the time I can be like, you know what, if you like it, great. I don't like it, it's not my thing. If you read anything by M. Robinson, I want to know what the fuck happened to you in your childhood that made you that kind of person. Her books are written terribly. She's not a good writer. She's the one that I told you about who keeps writing in incomplete sentences.
Yeah.
She's a terrible writer. And 2, she writes sexual thoughts from children's point of view, which is borderline pedophilia. I don't get how that is even allowed to be put on the shelves. Like, who allows her to publish that? That should be illegal. And I'm not talking like, because, technically in a lot of states, like, a 17-year-old is considered a child. That's different. I'm talking like an 11-year-old.
Yeah.
That's not okay. You can't write sexual thoughts from an 11-year-old's point of view or a 13-year-old's point of view. That's not cool. I have a problem with her. Every time I see her or hear about her,
was it
my
like
blood
romanticized?
boils. Yes.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh, God, no.
There's this scene in one of the books that I tried to read from her, and I, DNF'd it, where, this little girl, I think she was 11, either 11 or 13, I can't remember. Either way, too young. And she was in church wearing a dress and was talking about how all the little boys her age were like getting boners because of it, and how like she sat on their lap and felt it. Like it was not okay. I remember reading that and being like, literally I read that part and I said, no, I can't read that. I felt creepy. I don't. And so if you read those books by her, genuinely, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Genuinely shocked right now.
It's gross. It's gross. I can't. No, I don't support her, and I will never read anything else by her, and I don't think you should either. Anyway,
mine.
Soapbox.
Well, I have 2 actually. I have more than 2, but I think I have very strong feelings about the 2. E.L. James, which again is going to be no shock. I did try to read 50 Shades of Grey. I read the first one, got about 40 pages into the second one. It's not for me. Terrible writing. I'm not, No, I've talked about that before. My other one is Liz Braswell, okay? She writes in the Twisted Tales series, so the...
Oh, yeah.
Tale as Old as Time, all those. I'm a huge Disney fan, so I was like, yes.
And you're a big villain fan.
I'm a huge villain fan, so I would love some Twisted Tales. Not told by her, though. Because they are not well written. They should not be considered young adult. They need to go right back into that children's section, because ain't no teenager thinks like that.
Yeah.
Very frustrating.
We have very strong thoughts about these authors, clearly. Sorry.
I digress.
Yeah.
A genre you have no interest in, or a genre you have tried to get into and couldn't.
I have very strong thoughts about this one too. You will never, ever, ever in your life see me pick up a self-help book. It's not happening.
No, she won't. It's not gonna happen.
Yeah, she reads self-help sometimes.
Sometimes.
I have a big problem with taking life advice from like people who don't know your unique situation.
Listen, I read some self-help books and it came back to bite me in the ass. Okay?
Yeah.
I no longer read those by that author.
And so I just don't, a lot of the times they're like very religious based, and I once again have maybe it's just because I'm not religious, but I have a really hard time with somebody like shoving their religious thoughts down my throat, which I guess they're not. I mean, I don't have to pick up their book, but you know, that sort of thing. And
you can have self-help without it, like,
for sure. And I just don't think I need to read a book to be a good person. So it's not my genre.
No. Yeah, I get that.
And to be fair, I've never tried to get into it. Like, I know the question says a genre you've tried to get into. I never tried to get into it.
I'm gonna have some people mad at me for this one, but manga.
Oh, same for me for that one. I don't read manga.
Manga and cozy mysteries. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I do, like the mass market paperback little ones.
Yeah, like that have dogs or cats or dessert titles. Like, I just can't.
And it's that one author that writes a bunch of them.
Yeah.
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 And they're like hot pink or like purple.
Okay. So, yeah, cozy mysteries is my other one.
Yeah. The camera cut us off, so we don't know where we're at. But
yeah.
Hopefully you heard all that.
I hope so. Okay, so number 6 is a book you have bought but will never read. I'm going to answer first really quick because I really don't have an answer.
Okay.
Usually after a while, if I haven't read it, I kind of just unhaul it. But I do try to read most of what I get.
I'm the same way, except you keep telling me to read it, so I keep holding on to it. But it's A Court of Thorns and Roses. I have a Kindle copy of it and a physical copy of it because I'm like, you know, I'm trying to make myself read this book, but I just don't think it's going to happen.
Maybe you should listen to the audiobook.
I don't listen to audiobooks anymore.
Just listen to the audiobook.
When? With what time? I don't listen to audiobooks anymore. You know, I used to when I worked a desk job because I would listen to it while I was working. But I don't work a desk job anymore.
Some way I'm going to get her to read this. I'm going to read to her, guys. We're going to have a weekly session where I read to Hannah.
A chapter of A Quarter.
A chapter.
Every night.
Yeah. I'll just call her while she's going to sleep. And I'll read a chapter to her. I'm telling you, I put this series off for so long. You can ask the person who recommended it to me, which is Kimmy. Oh. I put it off for so long. And now I obsess over it.
But it's young adult, which I don't read.
It's not, though. Did you know it's not anymore?
It's not?
No, it's categorized as fantasy.
I just don't think it's going to happen. I'm so sorry. I apologize.
I am deeply disappointed in you. Just deeply. I think The Witcher has to go now.
That's not fair. You
No,
have to read The Witcher. We never agreed that you would only read The Witcher if I read A Court of Thorns and Roses.
I do remember.
That never happened.
I do remember that happened.
That
Anyways, I'm
never
saying it's
happened.
happening now.
You're missing out.
You're missing out.
I've tried. You haven't even tried
No.
to read The Witcher.
No, you haven't tried. You've gotten 3 chapters and you have to at
chapters.
least get further in than that.
No, but there's no way. Why? If I'm not enjoying it, why am I gonna?
You haven't even gotten into a storyline yet. 3 chapters. Give me a break. Come on. Number 7, okay, is a series you have no interest in reading or a series you started and have to DNF. You better go with the DNF one and don't say it again.
I won't. 50 Shades of Grey.
Okay. 50 Shades of Grey is also one of mine, and one I have no interest in reading is To All the Boys I've Loved Before.
And another one that I started, I forgot about this. The Black Dagger Brotherhood.
I also started that series.
I read the first one, and it was terrible. It was
I
so
only
bad.
read part of the first one.
I think I finished it, and I don't know why I did that to myself. I think I gave
There's
it
way
like
too
1
many in
star.
that series,
Like
too.
it was, yeah, there's too many, and they're not good. So, not interested. Nope.
No. I could agree with that.
Yeah.
I do want to try number 1 again because it's
Why?
one of my friend's favorites.
Who?
Kimmy.
Oh.
But
I just don't think they're good.
But I had trouble the second time too. So,
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe one day. Number 8, a new release you have no interest in reading.
I had to look through the new releases because now that I no longer work at a bookstore, I don't know of any new releases. Because I usually don't learn about a book until after it's been out for a while because I'll watch it on BookTube or something. But I looked through new releases, and one of them that I've heard about is the Chanel Sisters, which I think is about Coco Chanel.
I really don't know.
But I keep hearing people talk about it, and every time somebody talks about it, I just think that sounds really boring. So that's my answer. I'm not interested in that one.
Outlawed by Anna North. A lot of people are talking about it. It was one of the Book of the Month choices.
Yeah.
I've seen it on Book Talk. I've seen it on YouTube. People have come in looking for it. It just doesn't sound interesting to me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a Wild West type gal. It's just
No?
No.
Not out in the wild, wild west?
No. No. Just not.
I don't know anything about that book, so I can't attest to that.
It's something about
The West.
the West.
Sand.
Some girls being gangsters in the West. Good for them. I don't want to read about it. Sorry. That's a little mean, but I just don't.
I've been mean this entire video, so it's fine.
Yeah, you have.
Her writing's terrible. If
Yeah,
you
you
read
have.
it, what's wrong with you?
We got down and dirty in this
Yeah.
one, okay?
And
We're
I
sorry
stand by-
if we offended
I'm
anyone.
not. Like, I stand by everything I said. If you read
I mean, I
child
do.
porn, you're gross. I'm sorry.
I do, yeah. I just think you're wrong about
Yeah.
A Court of Thorns and Roses, so we're just gonna keep going on about that. I cannot believe you. Twilight. This woman over here just idolizes
It's so
Twilight
rude.
and will not read A Court of Thorns.
That's
I feel
so rude.
brutalized.
Maybe if I had read it when I was younger. I just
It's
can't.
not. It's so not even a young
I
person's
just
story.
can't. I just
I've
can't.
said this from the beginning. It should never have been in young adult. It is not a young adult book.
Maybe it's because I
At
keep
all.
having the mindset of it's terrible, it's terrible, it's terrible. So that when I keep trying to read it, I just don't want to. I don't want to.
I don't care. I don't care what you want. I don't care what you want. Read it.
No.
Fine. The Witcher's just gonna have to go.
Okay, that's fine. It's your loss. I still read it and watched it, and I loved it. So.
Hi, Pookie.
Oh. Can you lift her up? They might want to see.
Yeah,
her.
you have upset her. She's upset.
I have not upset her. She's my best friend.
She's upset.
Hello. She loves me so much. She loves me no matter what I say about A Court of Thorns and Roses. Hello. You little sweet baby.
This is Chloe, everybody.
Chastity's child.
Yes, this is my baby.
You shaky.
She's shaky.
You excited? She's so cute.
She just got a bath and a haircut, and she was taking a nap, but she just woke up.
From our screaming.
Yeah, because I still think you should read it. Thank you for tuning into this video today. Hit that like button and comment down below and let us know what you think. We're excited and nervous
to get dragged.
Subscribe and definitely hit that notification bell so you know when we post.